Fucking kamera. Ja. Opdagede du kameraet? Det var selv? Ja, så må du slå smule igen.
Du er en dum lille baby.
Yeah, as you can see, I had quite the find at the dump today. My local dump isn't a dump. It is a waste disposal facility, or what we call a renovation station. And you don't just drive up and just throw something in a dumpster. It is a big area where there are neatly arranged dumpsters that are categorized in like different things. And aside from things being neatly like categorized, there's also a specific dumpster that's for stuff that is not broken, stuff that people can use. So people will place stuff in that container that they don't use anymore, but that's not broken. And yeah, so that's the story of how I got this, as you saw in the beginning of the video. The Microsoft Xbox is probably, definitely, my favorite console. Even if you aren't a fan of these consoles, you cannot deny that the Microsoft brand of consoles, it does something, it can something. There is a certain hi-fi geek tech nerd quality to them that makes them more interesting to a specific set of people, and I'm definitely that specific set of people. And it started all the way back with this one. The one I found has this is the revised controller, which is the smaller version of the Duke, and it also comes in a crystal variant. Yeah, this has definitely been living with smokers. It's I don't know if it's picking up on camera, but it's visibly yellow. And even if you didn't have the crystal controller to show you like how it changes color, you could definitely smell it as well. This has been around like a few packs a day at least. Oh, it's nasty. It smells so bad. It's so gunky, you're not gonna even. Oh no, there's so much gunk. Should have cleaned this up before. Well, this is the raw experience, I guess. Jesus fucking Christ, it's disgusting. Go away. Yeah, so it's absolutely fucking filthy. Okay, what controller are we gonna use? Even though they are equally disgusting, I somehow feel like worse about using the one that's like visibly yellow. They feel equally disgusting, they smell equally disgusting, but something about one of them also looking disgusting makes it worse. And to describe what I'm feeling now, everything I touch on the console has a residue. It is a residue of like smoke, and I feel like it's been in a kitchen where they cooked a lot of fatty foods, because it's greasy. There's grease everywhere, and every time I touch it, I cry inside. I wanna die. I don't like it. Look at this. This is so nasty. Oh, this is greasy. I don't like it. Oh, yeah, I'm actually gonna wash my hands. Bye. So yeah, moment of truth. Let's turn this disgusting fucking thing on. Ooh. This is my favorite detail. This was in the home of people that smoked cigarettes inside where they live and breathe. But like real connoisseurs, like people that really respect things, they kept the cellophane on the console. So we're gonna be the first people to actually rip the little cellophane off. Look at this. Oh, it's actually it's actually so greasy. It's been in such a greasy environment that the little cellophane thing has become stuck. Oh, it's gonna be. But baby, I want to rip it off. Let me rip it off. I want to be. Oh, it's yellow. Oh. You do it. Oh yeah, crinkling. Yeah, you can tell how yellow it is. It's fucking disgusting. But look, now there is one little piece of the console that's not fucking disgusting. Let's turn it on, man. First, the TV. And yeah. No?
Because this is a disgusting... So it might be because this cable is like... Yeah, I'm gonna...
Technical difficulties. Today is a good fucking day, gentlemen. And I like it a lot. I found a free Xbox in the fucking trash and it works. Games, what do we have with games?
I've always wanted to play this. This is Far Cry Instincts. Yeah, and then we got a Halo 2 multiplayer map pack. We got Halo Combat Evolved, Forza Motorsport, the first game. And then we got Broken Sword Sleeping Dragon.
Let's get to playing some games. I am putting in my Xbox.
Ooh, that is no. Oh, no. That is another good one.
No. I will not capitulate yet. Hang fuck on. I'm using a wet cloth.
And then I use a dry cloth to dry it off.
What if I just leave it like that for a minute and then I checked it? Yeah, obviously not working. I'm sad. I feel like I want to give Far Cry a final try. Come on, Far Cry. Alright, hang on, I got an idea. Power of the Xbox 360. The reason that it could work is that I know that the Xbox One, it actually doesn't use the disc. It just uses the disc to authenticate that you do indeed own the actual game. But it's worth a go.
Give me the money!
Okay, so that was obviously a fail, but I actually do maybe have a fucking absolutely Hail Mary, but let's try a second Xbox. So yeah, obviously experiment done, dream dead. We're not gonna play Far Cry Instincts because there's something broken about the disc. Alright, let's try Broken Sword Sleeping Dragon. So Broken Sword is an incredibly interesting game. I was thinking that it was some sort of point-and-click adventure game, but it really isn't. It's just an adventure game, and it takes full advantage of the fact that it is on a console. It is sort of like a more low-key Indiana Jones / Lara Croft Tomb Raider game, and I really enjoyed it. Like, it was really surprising to me that I enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna continue playing because it's really good. You remember when they did like the thing with the pants where they were like really low, and then they did like the midriff shirt thing? Yeah, she has one of those, and it's of course like she has like really sexy hips and it's really good, but in reality, in real life, it just kind of looked like this. Halo is, of course, the Halo. It's a brilliant little shooter title that completely revolutionized how shooters were gonna look for the next, well, still looking, and its influences can still be seen in the shooter genre in 2021. Forza is known for being incredibly beautiful, and it really is. It totally pushed what the hardware could do. And when it released, it was the prettiest racing game ever. And with each new iteration of Forza, it has continued to retain that crown.
And everything.
And another little cool thing I found in the box was one of these old ads, and I actually really love those. These are absolutely brilliant. It's just a little like foldy thing, right? But it gives you a sort of like selection of games that are like graphically impressive or really good, and as you can see on this one, we of course have Halo Combat Evolved, and we have Munch's Odyssey, and then we got Dead or Alive 3, and then we got Project Gotham Racing, and then we got Zurich and Longwake Amped and Rally Sport Challenge. You usually knew when you were in for a good time if the game you bought had one of these, because this was basically like the Xbox seal of approval. If the game you were buying was accompanied by this, then that meant it was probably featured in it, and if it was featured in it, then Microsoft had some confidence in the game doing well, and they usually had a confidence in games doing well that reviewed well or were of a certain quality. And every game in this thing is a fairly reviewed game, maybe with the exception of Zurich. And the reason that I have played or owned every one of these except, I don't know, 2, is that I based my purchasing decisions on this little thing. I didn't base my purchasing decisions on what the internet said, what the TV said, what I read in magazines. I based it on this because I knew if I went with one of these, it was gonna be a quality experience. And while I didn't necessarily like things like Project Gotham, I recognized that it was one of the better racing games. And in a weird way, it got me into racing games. So yeah, I love these. The Xbox is an amazing console, and you should definitely pick one up, because there are a lot of great games that are exclusive to this console, and they really don't make them like this anymore. A lot of these games, they run on sort of like proprietary technology that was just, it was not good business to continue making that sort of technology. Like the whole thing about streaming textures from a hard drive, that just no game since Halo ever really did anything with it. No games, at least since this console, ever really did anything with it. And the 360 actually didn't have those capabilities. And in my opinion, it actually took a really long time for console graphics to catch up to this thing. I didn't think that the Xbox 360, despite having 8 times the specs, looked really any better than this thing did at its prime in like 2005 or 6. This thing in 2005 and 6, there were games that looked better than the games that released the first year that the Xbox 360 launched. We didn't get a fighter, as an example, that looked anywhere near as good as Dead or Alive 3 did until we got Dead or Alive 4. And we really didn't get a Halo game that looked as good as Halo 2 did until we got ODST. Halo 3 sort of like put its eggs in a lot of different baskets graphically, and it traded graphical fidelity over being able to do more stuff, like more explosions, more vehicles and all that. And I fully like recognized that it did that, and I fully respect that it took that decision, because gameplay is king. But it was sort of impressive going back to Halo 2 and seeing a game that looked pretty much, if not better, than the sequel that launched on a console that was 8 times more powerful. I would say that I was like really overjoyed that I found one in the trash, but as you can see I bought one 2 weeks earlier. But I suppose you can never have too many Xboxes. But it is definitely one of my cooler finds. Like, holy shit, an Xbox, an original Xbox in the dump. And with some pretty cool games. And definitely like a game that I'm gonna play, Broken Sword. That was a real surprising game. And I think 11-year-old Randolph would have played it and liked it as well. Because I think... yeah, he would definitely have stuck around to see if the lady character puts on a bikini at some point. And the gameplay would have been easy enough for him to get to that point. And I think he would have accidentally stumbled upon a really good game that could have shaped his interest in media in the future. But now I get to go back and do it in reverse, and that's cool. If you can't find an Xbox in the trash, then maybe check your local online like trading things. Facebook groups are always good. Craigslist if you're in America. And other apps that are like it, because it's a really awesome console and there are some really awesome games on it. And some really neat experiences. Like, I love the ports of PC games that are on this thing. The cool thing about the Xbox, and the most like bragging thing that the Xbox can, is that Gearbox Software ported Half-Life 1 to PlayStation 2, and it could barely run it. It runs like kind of like poopy, and the levels had to be shortened a little bit, and the graphics had to be turned way down, and the game basically had to be programmed from the ground up to actually work on the PlayStation 2. But this boy will just play the PC version of Half-Life 2, the much graphically improved sequel. And that's really impressive, and it says something about what's under the hood of this thing. This is a beast compared to the PS2. Yeah, and I guess I'll see you next time I find something cool in the dumpster, right?